Queen's Lead podcast. I'm your host, Amy Singleton, and as a child of the 80s, I'd love to say Queens rule, but they don't. Queens lead. Being a queen means you are worthy to be a leader of people. The guests on our show do exactly that. They are leading the way in their businesses, families, and communities. They're taking their rightful place in the spotlight, leading and inspiring the developing queens in all of us. Welcome to the Queen's Lead podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Queen's Lead podcast. Today, I am so excited to have Kerry Wynn here as a part of our May series on highlighting women of Asian and Pacific Islander heritage. Welcome, Kerry, to the show.
Hello, Amy, and hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today, Amy. It's such my honor to be here today.
We're really happy to have you. So tell us about Kerry and who you are.
Okay, so hello everyone again. My name is Kerry Wynn, and I'm actually a managing partner at KN Capital Partners. Me and my husband, we opened our own business. It's been almost 3 years now, and we are a real estate investment firm, local here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and we're focusing on, helping investor in starting invest into a multifamily apartment complex.
Nice. That's a huge push. Real estate's where it's at right now. So you guys are in the mix of it, and Oklahoma is growing so quickly.
Yes, it is. So I actually moved here in America after I graduate college. After I graduate high school in Vietnam.
Okay.
So I have been in Oklahoma since 2015, and I love Oklahoma. I just feel that this is just a great state to live and to start a family, to start a business, and
Definitely.
I love it here.
Well, since we are highlighting Asian women this month, tell us about your pilgrimage from Vietnam to America and what started that. What was it like? We want to know your story.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, after graduate high school, I was thinking my parents love us to go abroad, study in a new environment, like different education platform compared to Vietnam. So I was actually thinking between France, Europe, or America.
Yeah.
And it's very funny because actually my second language is actually French. I has been learning French forever.
Oh, wow.
And, yes, and not until going to high school, that's when I start start learning English. But then I think it's just destiny or fate or something that I definitely decide finally decide to go to America. And it was just such a great experience for me, because that is when I of course met my husband here too, the love of my life.
Yeah.
And then also, I'd be able to actually know more people, learn to a new culture, and such a great experience for me. Because, back then from 2015 until now, I see myself change a lot.
Yeah.
Be more open-minded, because sometimes when you look at Asian culture, we kind of, I tend to see that we not as open-minded as
Really?
the Western culture. Yeah. And I'm
Really?
very
Okay.
grateful to be able to be here, and then just have and I just feel like I'm being more independent here.
Nice. Did you
Yeah.
come by yourself for college?
So I actually have my sister here before.
Okay.
So whenever and then the funny is, when she here in Oklahoma, she's saying that okay, don't come to me, just go some other state so you can live more. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll try out. I'll try out. I was actually living in Chicago for the first couple months.
Really?
Yes. And I was just somehow it's just not fit me. It's just too crowded for me. So
Yeah.
my sister, I was like, it's just too crowded for me. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and try Oklahoma. And from that on, we stayed here. And we just, even my sister, she moved to different state, after college, still moved back to Oklahoma somehow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. That makes me really proud to be an Okie.
Oh, no, like that's what
People
I'm
love
like.
it here.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like all the state is just great to like go travel if you want to live, and like met with like such great people. Oklahoma is like the best state
Mhm.
for
So your
sure.
parents really encouraged you to travel or go somewhere else other than, despite you're saying that's a little more closed-minded, but they were open to you going so far away from them. Are they still there in Vietnam?
Yes, they still there in Vietnam. And I have to say thank you to my dad because he always remind us that like no matter what people said to you, you can do everything as a woman. So
Wow.
don't ever think that okay, because like we are a woman, we cannot do something. We always have to you be able to, become a enjoy a woman life, being a mother, being like a wife, anything, but you can do so much more in your business life too. So
Wow. Were your parents business owners? Or did you
so
have some kind of example in your life that led you to the path you're on now?
yes, so actually my parents like they both doctor in Vietnam, so medical background. So they
Okay.
also lead me to medical background. I actually have my bachelor was in healthcare administration, and I
Really?
work in like like medical system too. But then my parents also doing real estate on the side, and I can see that even though like like my dad was the one who like always kind of like like make the big decision, but I can see
Hmm.
my mom was the one who running all the background on the side.
Yeah, all right. He's like the front man and she's the
Yes,
guy in the back, like calling all the shots, right?
yes, and I can see that like because of her, that is why their business is like successful in Vietnam, and I can see
Hmm.
the importance of that. I feel like like the equally between woman and men is that like each of the gender have their own. I shouldn't say the gender, but I think it's just like each person have their own like strength. So
Yeah.
I'm just grateful that I have my husband as my business partner too. So we be able to learn from each other and respect in each other, of course, in like regular, like normal life and also in business life.
Yeah. Now, do you get like my husband and I are also business partners, and people are like all the time, like, how do you do that? And I'm like, for us, it works great. Tell us about what that dynamic has been like for you two. And also, I want to know how I know you said you met in college. I want to hear the story of how you met.
Yeah, definitely. So like I feel like I have the same question. Some people always said to me like, how can you guys work together?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I feel like at first we didn't realize like like the boundary between business life and normal life. So of course at first we kind of like came to each other. We just kind of like mixing up, personal life and business life. I just keep saying that like, okay, why are you doing that? And then my husband will always say, but that is like in personal life. Why when we talk about business, you bringing personal issue in here? Uh, but after a while, we just realized that, okay, you have to set the boundary. When you talk about business, just about business, whatever happened outside, then is not going to relate anything. And then
Yeah.
we realized one thing, that I'm good at my line and he's good at his line, so we won't cross. So if
Yeah.
I'm saying okay, I got it, and then I think I'm good at this, like this stuff, then don't ever cross your line and tell me what to do. And I think
Yeah.
great, like from the moment that we realize that okay, nobody gonna cross the line, then I feel like the business like that was such a completely like change of the game for us.
For
Like
sure. I really feel like too, like just this last year, Joseph and I have kind of switched seats in our business of what we were doing. Because when we first started, I just knew he was going to be like my salesperson. He was a lot more comfortable with people and talking with people. And I've learned actually he is way better at project management because of his background. And I'm
right.
actually way better with people and talking, which is all sales is getting to know people and helping them solve their problems. Right. So once we switched those seats and now we're, like you said, we're staying in our lane,
Yeah.
things are just happening. Like it's so much smoother than ever before when we're in our lane and not crossing over those lanes. Like you said, it's just happens and it works that way.
Yes, and I have to agree about that. Whenever you walk into the business, even though, at first you thought that you're going to be so good at something, whenever
Right.
you're actually doing that, you just realize that, okay, you like maybe my line should be your
Yeah.
line. To be
Right.
put
Yeah. Let's just do some musical chairs here and see if things work better this way. And they did. It was
Yes,
mind blowing.
I totally agree. Yeah. And to answer the question about like, how we met in college,
Yes.
it's actually a very funny story. So we kind of like know each other because, like we go into like the same international student association, trying
Okay.
to understand and connection. And
Is
then
he also Vietnamese?
yes, he actually
Okay.
Vietnamese too, but he
Okay.
moved here like when he was like 12. So
Okay.
way more than me.
Yeah.
So, we kind of like know each other and have like, each other contact, but we never like actually, start talking until one day, like he just like DM me on Facebook, like Messenger. And he literally, start talking so nice, asking me about how my day going and even start flirting with me. And and to be honest, at that point, I was like, okay, I kind of like him already. So I was like, okay, I keep talking. And then,
Okay.
yeah, and I feel like, oh, man, this guy definitely into me.
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
Feeling myself.
I
Okay.
know, right? And then at the end of the day, he started asking to borrow me money. And I was like, oh my God, this
What?
is so freaking weird. And I was just realized that, okay, like his Facebook definitely got hacked. And that's when I
Oh
started like texting.
no.
Yeah, I started texting him and he was like, oh man, I didn't know that. And he didn't know that his Facebook got hacked until I text him. So after that,
So
we kind
some
of,
hacker is flirting with you on his behalf because
yes,
they hacked his Facebook.
yes, right.
That's so
But
funny.
yeah, and after that, like I mean, the like after that we just started like talking and start dating from that. So his friend always say, okay, on your wedding you have to say thank you to the hacker.
That's right. Thank you,
Right?
Facebook hacker, for bringing us together. That's awesome.
I know we should actually pay him for that.
Right? What a great story. I love that. And how do you not ask you for money?
I know it's
You
just,
may have never known. Now,
yeah.
did you ever give him any money?
No, no, I'm not, like, see, woman, you need to be independent. So we
That's
want
right.
to like get into that trap, right?
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So you said your degree is in healthcare administration. I'm a registered nurse in my former life too. So it's so fun. I keep seeing all these folks from healthcare jumping and going to other industries and kind of mixing up their knowledge. Did you ever go into any type of work with that degree or did you go straight into investments?
No, so actually, like after graduate, I did work for a doctor office, and then like I tried it. I think like more than a year or two, and then just feel like it's not fit for me. You can
Yeah.
realize it right away when you work in the in the system that you just feel like okay, it's not fit for you, and you want to do
Mhm.
something more than that. So we make a decision for me to just like I quit my job and then I'll just go and start like full force into our business. And that is when we realize that is okay. That is what I really enjoy to do. Is my passion is so. From that on, like we've been just such happy. I'm such a happy person after that decision. It's true.
That's awesome. Yeah. When you finally get in the place you're supposed to be, things
Yeah.
just seem to go a little bit easier, don't they?
Yes, yeah, it is. And I'm telling you, at first it was hard. It was such a hard decision because we having our W-2 job, have such a like stable income. I'm not saying
Yes.
a high income, but it's such a stable one. And when
Right.
you actually quit it at first, like you lost that income, like that stable income for sure. And we, we just like, you know what, let's just take that chance. I'll be happy doing my job, even though it's maybe not as stable as the job that I have before, but that is what I love to do. And it's actually somehow it's worked out. And I'm happy with that decision.
That's good. I'm so glad you were able to make it sooner than later.
I know, and I'm really glad because right now a lot of my like a lot of my friends, they also find, themselves be like blooming into a different area instead of like
Yeah.
working their W-2 jobs for sure.
Mhm. Now, you said that when you were in college, you were a part of some of the international student groups. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like to move from Vietnam to America? And like, was it a complete culture shock? Did you experience like legitimate racism, or how did you deal with the challenge of moving from a completely different country, essentially all alone?
Yes. I feel like, when I think the first 3 months was like shocking. There's a lot
Hmm.
of things, from the food to, like the way that you're talking is just like different in all area. I feel like.
Yeah.
So, like, just for example, let's just say how you talk to the teacher here and in Vietnam. So in
Hmm.
Vietnam, like teacher is kind of like your parents. Sometimes it's more like you have to be like super polite. There's some word that you cannot say to the teacher. And
Okay.
and then we all have to wear a uniform to go to school. Kind of
Hmm.
like that. But over here, I feel like it's just so easy, like it's easier for you to talk to the teacher becomes
Okay.
your true friend, like you can become friend with your teacher talking, and actually you'll be able to discuss about a matter, like a fact or something with them. Back in
Hmm.
like if they say, okay, that is round, it's mean round, but over here you can be able, no, I don't think it's round, I think it's rectangle, like, and discuss about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I feel,
Gotcha.
yeah. So when I first go to college, I just feel so weird because I was sitting there, like super shy, and like I just wait. I have a question, but I just wait. Like whenever they say, okay, it's now your turn to raise your hand and ask question, but the teacher didn't say that. And my friend sitting next to me, he was just like this, sir, I have a question. Like, how about this, about that? And I was like, dude, why you do that? Like, why
He
you,
interrupted the teacher.
yeah.
Like, okay.
But then the teacher was just so chill and just so nice and started discussing in the class.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that's one of the things that I really do love here, that you be able to speak up and you be able to, like, express your feeling, express your opinion. So I love that.
Wow.
I really do.
I think
Um,
that's something that we probably take for granted here,
yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
it is.
I don't
It is.
think I had no idea that was the case.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and even the food is different. Over there, everything I think is kind of like opposite, like America and Vietnam. So in Vietnam, like if you go buy like vegetable and stuff, it's like super cheap and
Hmm.
like so expensive. But over here, I think it's kind of like vice versa about that. But yeah, and then but for the first 3 months, of course, a lot of things that I need to learn and a lot of things that I need to adapt. And of course, when you talk about like racism, I feel like everywhere having that, even in
Hmm.
Vietnam, you know,
Yeah.
because we have so many ethnicity in Vietnam, and it's always some, because people are different from people. So
Hmm.
when I come over here, of course, when I first come, my accent and everything. When you come in to like a place to even buy food or everything, people look at you as a different person. Maybe they're not seeing you as a different race, but it's just because you have the accent and you're just like different than regular people that they meet. Like in regular life. So
Hmm.
it just kind of like treating you in a different way. So
Hmm.
because they look at me as I'm an Asian, sometimes they just assume that, okay, I'm not going to be good at English. I actually have some people, like some person that actually talk bad about me, like right in front of me. And then they just saying like, oh my God, like she probably not going to understand what I'm talking about.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I know.
What?
Yeah, but I mean, that is just like minimal person that I met in life. For me,
Yeah.
whenever I moved here since 2015, I met so many good people that I have so many good connection, more than just like a little bit of issue. Some people just saying like mean things to you. So I'm grateful. I'm just very grateful that I be able to be here today, like me and you, like I'm just so grateful today that I be able to sit with you, talk about myself and talk about my experience. So I feel like, everywhere you will, even if I live in Vietnam, some people will be mean to me, about my appearance,
Okay.
everything. So I feel that's
Hmm.
fine. And I feel like it's just life, someday you will have good time and someday you have bad time, but it's just about your mindset to think of that, just always trying to be positive.
Man, I love that. That's powerful. That actually gave me chills. That's so good. I'm so grateful that you had, as good of an experience as you could
Yeah.
have, most likely, and very different than some of the other guests that I've spoken to. So I'm just really grateful that you didn't have to go through too much trauma to come and assimilate here in Oklahoma.
Yes, yes. Like I
Most of the
said, like,
people are pretty good. I think that the experiences are so magnified when they happen once or twice, but we don't take into consideration the hundreds of other times that things went really well and people were just genuinely good to us.
that's right. That's right. And I just feel like, because you also have to appreciate the bad time and bad day so that you can see that, oh my God, like tomorrow is will be a better day. So you
That's right.
appreciate more about your life,
Hmm.
because if you always have like good moment, you'd be like, oh, it's kind of be boring. I'm telling you.
Right? It's
Yeah,
too
yeah,
easy. When there's
yeah.
no struggle, nothing great ever happens, right? We don't
I know.
grow for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So tell me what you love about the Vietnamese culture and about the Asian culture. And are you involved here in Oklahoma City with the Asian Chamber or any of the markets or anything that's going on in the district?
Yes, and I love and very proud, that like I be able to, born in a beautiful country. We have great people over there too, and I'm so glad that my parents are still very enjoy their life there in the country.
Yeah.
Um, One of the things that I love about Asian culture is that we definitely like hardworking. We actually love to work, and we believe that if you work hard, you will deserve,
Hmm.
like the effort whenever you're putting in something. So because of follow into that culture, I feel like we putting our full force into our business, and
Hmm.
we won't give up easy. So and then I'm proud to be an Asian woman, that I'll be able to, my mom always teach me that, okay, you always, respect your husband, respect, like your marriage life. And
Hmm.
I just feel like that's such a great lesson that I be able to put it into my marriage, that I be able to, like I be able to independent on my business life, and then but also I always learn to listen,
Hmm.
like not follow my husband but listen to him and respect whatever
Yeah.
he said. And I
Hmm.
feel like you have a balance between that, you respect your husband, respect his opinion, and you guys like work things out together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's a
And
partnership.
yes, definitely. It's partnership. So and then I actually, like being we actually at first I helping with the Asian Chamber of Commerce on the membership committee, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just kind of like help and spread out the word to other business that, okay, now we have an Asian Chamber of Commerce right now. If you want, like, please join, because a lot of like Vietnamese or like Asian people in the area, they have the business, but they really don't know that there's a chamber that they can like unite and helping each other.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful to have that opportunity to help people around me to spread the word out for them. And I'm very, very grateful to the Asian Chamber of Commerce like board, because they are such nice people. I know them like personally, and then they are just like the sweetest people ever. They always, offer to help. So I just want to tell to all Asian business owner out there, if you want to, like find a group that can, help and support your business, Asian Chamber of Commerce is a place for you. You can come and feel like home, like really, people are just
Yeah.
nice person and helping each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so much need for support
Yeah.
around businesses, especially ones that are just starting up and trying to navigate just those everyday things that come up in business.
I know.
What are
I
some
wish
of the struggles that you see, particularly, specifically the Asian culture dealing with in business?
I feel like there's a lot into that because the Asian business owner, sometimes they just kind of like they still shy, and then they
Hmm.
didn't have enough information to know, because a lot of business owner, when I talk about them, hey, do you know there's an Asian Chamber of Commerce just recently, like established here in OKC? They really don't know. They kind of like just they work so hard, and then they just thought that okay, they just need to like try by themselves, and then
Yeah.
they won't reach out for help because they shy. They really like shy, or they just think,
Yeah.
okay, it's not normal to ask for help or like
Right.
ask support.
Hmm.
So I think the only challenge right now that the Asian community are facing is just that to spread out the word, to let
Yeah.
like to educate more business owner that when you need the support, you have a place to come.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And that's the Asian Chamber of Commerce in Oklahoma City. Do you know their website?
Yes, I do. Actually, I'll be able to, like I can be able to just send it to you, text it to you like after this today.
Yeah, perfect. We'll put that in the notes. It's let's see, asianchamberokc.com. I Googled
Yes,
it right there. So
yes,
yeah, if you're an Asian business owner in Oklahoma City area, plug into asianchamberokc.com. People like Carrie are there. Toon Win, one of my good friends, is always hanging out down there.
yes.
Jenny Wynn Statler is there a lot, I think, and just so much support
They have
for the
so many
community there.
resources and also like people that like ready to help.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Check them out.
Definitely those boots on the ground. Check them out. So tell us more about KNN and what you and your husband are doing for people, and how, if they're interested in starting an investment portfolio in, now you guys deal in multi-family, like apartment
Yes,
complexes,
apartment complexes.
duplexes, or multi-units.
Yes.
Tell us about what that looks like to get started, and what usually holds people back, their fears, I'm sure.
So K&N Capital Partner is actually our college dream. Funny enough, because back then when we lived in apartment during like college,
Yeah.
this would always tell me like it was just nice if we'd be able to own the apartment, huh? And I laughed at him. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "Look at this. It's just really like you have a bunch of unit and such a cash flow machine, and if you own one you set." And I was like, yeah, you're right.
You're right.
But back at the time we thought that like have to be like you must be millionaire or billionaire be able to own apartment. uh
Hmm.
it's actually not the way it is. It's just that like regular people, but if you stand alone, like you cannot own one, but you stand together as a group,
Mm.
then you'll be able to own it and actually operating it like the properly way, like a proper way. So we
Yeah.
just and then we start as like single home fame like investor, like we buy
Hmm.
like small first, and then we thought that we can just go ahead and just moving forward to buy an apartment. But then whenever we realized the way that we can actually work with other investor in order to purchase like a bigger property, that
Hmm.
is like changing the game for sure. That is when we say KNN Capital Partner. So Capital Partner, we actually be a partner, and together with our investor we pull the capital in and start buying apartment complex. And it's really depend on the term, like on the property or like the firm that maybe all the firm that like us, like work with our out there, but with our firm, our investor can start invest into apartment and be able to be a part of the ownership starting at 50K. So
Wow.
yeah, and we be able to help them that educating them, like how they can, pull the capital in and how that capital work. So technically, when we're buying it, we be able to hire a professional like a property manager or construction, so they be able to operate the whole apartment. So whatever
Mhm.
our investor can be is like they like almost enjoy the passive income by like 99% hands off.
Wow.
Yeah, when I said that is because of course they still have that 1% they need to educate themselves. They still need to learn what kind of investment is this, because investment always come with risk.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel like that 1% is that they have to pay the time to actually educate themselves and learn more about apartment investing. And we calling it like the way it we call it like apartment syndication. So it's just all investor pulling the money together.
Okay.
And also since that we talk about this, we also have a free meetup for all passive investor that people love to learn about this. You don't have to invest with us. Like we always said that to people. We just love people to come to our meetup every first Saturday of the month at Whip Bakery Cafe in War Acre from 2 to 4, just 2 hours. We just straight talking and discussing about apartment syndication and
Okay.
no attached at all. Because I always have the, like people asking me like, okay, are you charging anything? I was like, no. I mean, people can find educational material online, and we just want to be a local resource so that
Mhm.
investor here coming and just discussing with us.
Yeah. There's so much information and misinformation on the internet. I mean, everything you Google is just going to be somebody else's opinion about investing, right? So
Yeah.
here's an opportunity. If you're in the Oklahoma City metro area, anywhere within driving distance of OKC, the
Mhm.
first Saturday of every month at
Yeah.
Whipped Bakery in War Acres, that's on Route 66, is that right? Or 39th Expressway?
Yes, that's right.
39th Expressway. Yeah. So from 2 to 4 p.m., you guys can go. First of all, I know the owners of Whipped Bakery, and they are amazing cooks. First of all, their
I
food and
know.
drinks and desserts there are amazing.
I'm telling you, the food and the drink is the must. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
it's worth lunch anyway. So just go
yeah,
by between 2 and 4, have some lunch, have a cupcake,
yeah,
and allow the winds to really educate you about what it might look like to own an apartment complex. Yeah, you can
that's
actually
right.
do that as an individual, can be a part and get some passive income. It's a really wise way to invest. And they're out there just giving so much free value and so much knowledge, which leading out of that is, how about some advice for business owners? Give away your knowledge. How much have these meetings affected and impacted your business by connecting with the community and giving away your brain, essentially?
Yes, I feel like, like every business owner, if I be able to give them an advice and give myself like 3 years ago advice is that
Yeah.
don't ever try, don't ever think that you alone, because
Mhm.
you have people out there that want to connect with you, want to share their opinion with you, and you can do the same thing. Always offer like to help other people. And I
Mhm.
feel that is the way that make that helping us running our business even right now is that we always try to offer help. I don't I don't think that like people always think that okay, like asking for help is something that is embarrassing. I feel like that
Yeah.
some people they think that, so they just try themselves first, but you don't have to do that because
That's right.
that was us like 3 years ago. Me and my
Yeah.
husband just like, okay, let's try ourselves. Like, don't tell anybody that we have a business. Let
Yeah. Yeah.
if we sell, they might like laugh at us, but it's a ridiculous thinking. You
Mhm.
need to connect to people. Like you need to go out there. If you have to yell to the world that you have a business, and you already here to help other business owner, and you will see the difference in
Mhm.
your business. People always love to help each other. So I feel that is like just like a regular human connection. So always
Yeah.
help and go out there, be proud to be a business owner, talk to everyone, said to them that, hey, I'm a business owner. How can I help you? And how
That's
can I
right.
help with, like your business?
That's
And
such great advice. I remember when we very first started our business too, I was like, okay, I need to go over here in my office and make sure I have everything figured out, make sure it's all perfect before I go and tell anybody that I even have a business. I mean, that sounds like you said, ridiculous thinking, but that was me too. I was terrified to let anybody know I was starting something new. But
yeah.
how do we expect someone to do business with us if we don't tell them we have a business?
That's exactly right. And I was so surprised because when we start talking about, okay, we're doing this business, we actually have more friends. I'm telling you, like,
Right?
we have so much more friendships after we launching our business. And
Yeah.
I'm meet such a like so many great people. See, if I don't have my business, like there's no way that I know about you and your husband. And I really don't know, about you guys meet up and everything. So I'm just grateful that we be able to start a business and meet with and connect with other business owner for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Those people you spend time with, like your mama told you, those people that are in your circle, they really do
Yeah,
impact your life and your business
yes.
and just your overall wellness. I mean, I've met so many people like yourself that have become friends to us and to myself, and that was a kind of a foreign concept for a long time when I was in my hidey hole trying to make sure things were going to be perfect before I went and told anyone what we were doing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I agree. I feel like people need to connect with each other, helping each other. Like I believe in like, like the power of working as a team and as a
That's
group.
right.
Yeah, as a
That's right.
community. Yeah. And I
That's
feel
right.
every and I feel like people here in Oklahoma, we really connect. Yeah, don't you see that? Like,
I think so.
I just feel like,
Definitely.
yeah, it's just so easy to talk to Oklahoman, an Okie.
We're kind of friendly down here, aren't we? A
I
little
know.
more. I've heard, I don't know, I've never lived in Chicago, but I've heard it's a little faster paced, a little less friendly than
Yeah.
it is here. So no wonder you moved, and we're grateful you're here.
Hey, I know, right? I love to be. My husband always laughed at me. I was like, okay, you have to stay here for like at least 10 years to become an Okie. And I was like, no, I'm an Okie already. Because
That's right.
we're
You're in the
friends.
club. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, tell the listeners where they can connect with you if they are interested in investing or learning more about. We know about the Saturday meetup once a month, first Saturday of the month in Acres. Go check them out from 2 to 4 every Saturday, first Saturday morning at Whipped Bakery. But tell us your website and where they can connect with you.
Yes, so you can easily connect with us through our website, kncapitalpartners.com. And then, again, like if you love to, we love to connect with you through Instagram and Facebook. Facebook, you'll be able to connect me and my husband because, like I said, we use the same Facebook. Qua and
Thanks to the hacker.
I know exactly. Yeah, Queen Kerry on Facebook, and then we also have, like our Instagram, like KNN Capital Instagram or our personal Instagram. Like we love to connect with you, and we also very active on LinkedIn too. If you want to, like in a more professional platform to talk about investment, we always on LinkedIn, and if you be able to and I think you easily too can like schedule a call with us too, because on all of our social platform we try to put in the link so you can schedule the call with us.
Perfect.
So you will
Perfect.
find us like somehow, I'm telling you,
You will find
on
us.
Facebook, Instagram, anywhere.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for being my guest and for sharing your story with us. I'm so glad you're here in Oklahoma and helping people invest and teaching and connecting with our community and bringing our communities together with the Asian Chamber and the district and everything. And reach out to that chamber for support. If you are here in the Oklahoma City area, they're there to help and connect with you and learn about you.
Yes, definitely. And I also want to say thank you so much, Amy, for having me today. It's such my honor to be here telling my story. Of course, after this, I'll call my dad and it's like, hey, Dad, I'll be in a podcast with Amy. He must be
Yeah.
freaked out. So I just want to, like let to all the listener and all the people that watching this podcast right now, please reach out to Amy or me whenever you need help with anything, or sometime if you just want to, have a regular chat. I love to
That's
connect.
right. We're
Sure.
here. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being my guest, Kerry, and thank you for being a queen that leads.